Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to TechGeek webinar series, our endeavor to impart techies. We believe that sharing of knowledge is the key to enhance our skills and grow us as professionals. With this principle in mind, we have initiated a series of webinars conducted by industry experts to give you all a crisp insight of various domains. The topic of today's session is SharePoint Online and Deploy Custom Solutions with Office 365 and Salesforce. And this is the 10th session in the Cloud Computing series. Our guest speaker today is Mr. Murtaza Fazlusen, Assistant Manager at Vodafone Pune. Mr. Murtaza is a senior engineer with more than 8 years of experience in web-based system development, specializing in middleware platforms and performance management. His passion is dedicated to making ultra-large best-of-breed solutions work around the world. He speaks 5 foreign languages and is dedicated to writing, teaching, and speaking to help companies get the most out of their investment. So without further delay, I introduce you all to our guest speaker. Over to you, Mr. Murtaza.
Yeah. Hi, thanks, Moini. Good afternoon, everyone. Murtaza here, and welcome to this edition of TechGeek of SharePoint Online. I have divided this session into 3 parts. I will first introduce you to the architecture of the cloud, and then we'll move on to a demo of Office 365, and finally we'll talk about Salesforce. During this session, we will be covering a lot of code writing. So first of all, we'll start with the PPT. Moini, is it viewable?
Are you able to see it?
Okay. The PPT is clear? Okay, this is our agenda. We'll cover the definition of cloud, SharePoint on premises, off premises, implementing Sandbox solution, implementing a Sandbox solution with the client object model, which is Silverlight. And when we'll come to the second part of the this webinar, which is Salesforce, and then we'll have a quick tour of Salesforce with we'll have a demo of Salesforce, and then we'll integrate Salesforce with ASP.NET and SharePoint, and finally we'll integrate Salesforce with SharePoint with a third-party tool, and at last we'll see at the risk to consider while moving to the cloud. So what is cloud? The term cloud in cloud computing can be defined as the set of hardware, network, storage, services, and interface that combine to deliver aspects of computing as a services. Cloud service include the delivery of software, infrastructure, and storage over the internet based on user demand. After reading this, the question is why customer or companies are looking to come to the cloud. I would say companies want an environment that can scale on demand. They do not want to be always in the business of managing and patching software all the time. They want a solution that gives a better business continuity, and they want to focus more on the productivity side rather than always just like monitoring their network and their operating system about patching and all. So the another benefit would be the cloud also will reduce software cost in terms of licensing, as the cloud is based on per user or monthly fees, or also based for online services. And the major benefit for enterprise is flexibility. It's like you pay according to what you use. Next is the architecture of the cloud. In the cloud, we have three service delivery model, which is one is infrastructure as a services, the other is platform as a services, and the third is software as a services. What does it mean? We'll read the simple definition of these one. Consumer, for example, infrastructure as a services, consumer can provision computing resources within providers' infrastructure upon which they can deploy and run arbitrary software including OS and application. Platform as a services, consumer can create custom application using programming tools supported by the provider and deploy them onto the provider's cloud infrastructure. Software as a services, consumer use provider application running on provider's cloud infrastructure. The next slide would be very useful to us to understand what is the these three services delivery of model. So at the left side you can see the on-premises. On-premises means that you own the complete control of everything. Everything means application. It could be your data, it could be your middleware, it could be your operating system, it could be your virtualization as server, storage, and networking. Now we are coming to the off-premises. Off-premises means we have three service delivery model for the off-premises architecture. We have infrastructure, we have platform, and we have software. I'll start with the infrastructure services. I'll just show you the yes, I think so. This is the biggest one. I'll put it as 150%. So I think so you are able to see the screen. In infrastructure, the customer or the company will manage only this part, means application, data, runtime, middleware, OS. The other will manage the server, storage, networking, and virtualization. Like as in, for example, your server would be located in some data center with let's say IBM or maybe Microsoft, but about the network card, about the networking part, the storage part, the virtualization part, everything they will manage. And at the company side, you'll just have to manage the application, the OS patching or this kind of stuff, and your data. Maybe you'll store data into your SQL databases or Oracle databases, which would be located in your infrastructure, which would be managed by you. Now with let's say platform as a services, you will manage only application and data. The rest would be managed by the others, third party. For example, Windows Azure is one of the best example for platform as a services. They manage everything, but they will let you do. They will let you host your application and your data within the Windows Azure platform. The next is, I'll move this slide to this side. The next is software as a services. In software as services is the full opposite. You will not have any control, and everything would be managed by the others. Everything, I mean, like even the application, the data, you will know, you will even not access to the file system. The most common example is Office 365, on which we'll go to the. I'll show you a demo about the software as a services later on. So I'll come back to my slide now. Yes. Okay. This is what I have said just recently. On premises, that means for organization that require the ability to have total or near control over their SharePoint environment of an on-premise SharePoint environment is definitely the way they should go. Off premises of infrastructure as a services, that means all the software installation, configuration, management, patching, adding new server to meet demand, load balancing need to manage by you. Infrastructure as services gets you out of the business of hosting virtual SharePoint server. Platform as a services is running the environment all the way up to the application and data tier. Windows Azure is platform as a services cloud. In this cloud, you build custom application, data model, and run them through a highly available environment. And finally, software as a services is the entire stack delivered in the cloud, and this is the delivery model for SharePoint Online, which we'll see later on. You do not have to install software, manage patches, availability, etc. This environment gets you out of the business of managing software and into the business of building solution. It does not provide a granular level of control of the SharePoint environment. Now the question is when to go on premises and when to go off premises. Larger organizations tend to go toward the on-site or on-premises private cloud to ensure they are able to connect to the other external data sources, easily federate with their Active Directory security configuration, and implement any custom solution or configuration they require. That means, like let's say any bank or any possibly telecommunication company will never go off-site, off premises, because the security model, because I would say they want the total control over their data and over their operating system, whoever is logged in, and so on. For small and mid-sized business, yes, they could go to the off-premises because, like, it gives a collaboration solution that involves little or no support from the organization IT department and has a very straightforward set of requirements. This is one of the service delivery model example. See, in the left side we have software as a services, platform as a service, and infrastructure as services. Amazon Web Services, they fall into the infrastructure as a services. Google Apps, they fall into software as a services, but Google App Engine, they are in between platform as a services and infrastructure as a services. Microsoft Windows Azure, similar like Google App Engine, they are half into the platform as a services, infrastructure as a services. And our next topic is about Salesforce. Salesforce has two flavors. One is force.com, which is platform as a services, and salesforce.com, which is software as a services. Right. Okay, now we'll jump into the Sandbox. When our main topic is based on the custom application, how to deploy custom application into the SharePoint Online. So the answer of that would be only Sandbox solution are supported by Office 365 primarily. Now, what is Sandbox? The general definition of Sandbox is like it's isolate your application in its own secure, reliable environment that is independent of the hardware, operating system, and physical location of the web server. And what is his use? When an organization wants to run code for employees on a production SharePoint server, and let's say that code has not been yet tested rigorously or maybe reviewed by the QA team, so we can like implement Sandbox solution for that. Or otherwise, when a hoster wants to let the owner of hosted SharePoint server site upload and run custom code, hoster means the administrator of the SharePoint farm. For controlling like 2-3 web SharePoint farm, it could be easy, but whenever you are in front of 50 or 100 SharePoint farm, then that could be a problem. So I would say all administrator will not be able to moderate or control everything on what and where it is going. So Sandbox solution is one of the great idea implemented by Microsoft in SharePoint 2010 and even in SharePoint 2013. The benefit of SharePoint Sandbox. It can be added to a production SharePoint server environment without the risk of affecting processes outside the sandbox. Site collection administrator can deploy sandbox solution. This frees farm administrator from this task. Scalability and flexibility are increased because sandbox run in a separate process that can be restricted by quotas, and their effect on the farm can be monitored. Of course, there are a lot of limitation of sandbox solution. Security elevation are not permitted, like while developing custom application into SharePoint, a lot of developer used to the SP security run with elevated privileges, so that method is no more supported with Sandbox. No support to web part pages namespace. No cross connection of web parts are allowed. No email support. SP utility is class is not available. No support to external services, for example BCS, or maybe the connection to the third party like SQL or Oracle are not supported within Sandbox. No visual web part. Why? Because they are like visual web part are primarily user control, so they are loaded from the file system. So in the Sandbox solution, it is not accessing to the file system, so no support. No GAC deployment, of course. I mean, like the DLL is no more going to the GAC or nor to the bin folder. This is the slide of the Salesforce. Will come after sometimes. We'll go now. We'll jump into the code and to the I'll show you a demo about Office 365. The demo would be in my VMware machine, which is which we can say it is an on-premises environment that I have made within my host machine. So we'll connect to the Microsoft Office 365. Okay, welcome to the Office 365. This is the first look and feel of the Office 365. They have upgraded to the new version of SharePoint, which is SharePoint 2013. And as you can see, we have a lot of facilities, like we have Outlook facilities. We'll just have a quick tour of what it is getting loaded. This is the Outlook web app. We have also the calendar, and it's people who are using Microsoft Office, they are quite familiar with all these options. Okay, now we'll we'll jump into the site, which is the SharePoint site. In the SharePoint site, you'll find two major parts. One is team site and one is the public site. Let's go at the public site. Let's go at the team site first. Team site is almost similar like a SharePoint 2010. Just 1 second, because there are something which is not right. Just I think so. There are some error going on at the Microsoft side, but let's go at the public side first. Public site means that the site will be able to make these as a public. See, they are Office 365. The Microsoft is giving us a complete ready-made website on which we can like edit and make it ready for our companies or let's say I'll try to customize this site for uh, for example, I'll edit the title. This control is currently disabled. Yes. No, we'll save it. I think so. I'll try from the my because I was in the VMware site, so let's say if I'll be able to I'll try to log in once again. I'll close my browser from the VMware. I'll go to the site again. I'll click once more at the theme site. Let's see if we can open it from the yeah, it is working from my host machine. Something is wrong maybe with the internet connection at the VM side. Okay, this is the company, the theme site. It looks similarly like a SharePoint 2010. On the left side, you'll have your quick launch about documents, notebook, and the list and all, content and all. I'll go back to the main pages and I'll come back to the public site. So I'll try to edit the title. Technique demo, for example. There is something wrong with the Office 365 today. Otherwise, let's try to technique demo. I'll try once again to edit the title of the site. Let's try. No, they are not letting us to change the title. Maybe we can like as a backup, I have two Office 365, so we'll try with the other. No. Sign with a different user ID. Oops. Yeah, this is one of the another site of Office 365 only. Let's see if this one is working. Site, edit title, my demo. Yeah, this one seems working. and we'll edit also the text of the home pages. This is a demo of TechGeek. This is a demo of TechGeek. Okay, we have also ready-made tab about the other pages like about us, contact us. They have given us a completely ready-made website, and to make it online you just have to click make website online, and we'll confirm. There are some of page has it left, continue. The website is now online and available to anyone on the internet. See, within like 5 minutes we were able to make this website online without I mean, like anyone can do it. Even there is no need of the knowledge of any technical knowledge. You just have to click and you just have to edit the pages, and you will be able to make this the Office 365 public site online. So it would be very useful for the small and medium-sized company who does not have much requirement of publishing like lot of contents online. At the theme site, we have libraries about style and all, and we'll jump into for example, first we'll create a list. I'm going to the site content now. For creating a list, now it is not create a list, but it's add an application, and then you have to create a custom list, and will give us a name like book list, for example. Create. Okay, here it is. Okay, now this is our book list. I'll try to add like 2 more columns within the book list. Title is already there, but I'll try to add the description. And I'll add 1 more column, which is for example book author. Yeah, title, description, book author. We'll add a new item. Title of any book, for example, The 3 Mistakes of My Life from Chetan Bhagat. Mistakes of My Life. Description, a very nice book, must read. Author is Chetan Bhagat. Save. Okay, here is the item which we have created. Now, suppose we'll create a Sandbox custom application to read this data. So how we'll do that? I'm going back to my VM server where the Visual Studio is. I'll start the Visual Studio. First of all, we'll create the Sandbox solution within the on-premises, because we'll be able to do the full testing between the on-premises, and once the testing is ready, once we are confident that our code is well running, so we'll be able to move it to the cloud after all. So if I'm not going too fast, I'll click to the new project. For example, I'll take an empty SharePoint project. Read book list, and we'll put under the G column TechGeek folder. This is important. Here you can choose which type of solution do you want. you want as a farm solution or you want as a sandbox solution. So when it comes to the SharePoint Online, you have to go to the sandbox solution because the farm solution is not allowed within the SharePoint Online. So I'll just click finish. Projects creation successful. Now after the project is created, I'll add a new item of the web part. Web part, I'll name it readbook WP and add it. Here is the code. So for this, there is for the person who are used to the visual web part, there is no ESX control. Everything that you have to code is within this readbook wp.cs only. So let's code it. For example, within the element.xml, I'll just create a space group of the web part about TechGig only. And within the create child controls, the create child controls will create a simple code about reading that list, specific list. One sec. This is the code of, I'll explain this code. We are getting, first of all, we are getting the list object of the book list list using the sp-context.current.web, and after that we are getting the collection of the item within that specific list. Then I am instantiating a new data grid and binding the data within that data grid and adding that to the page. Let's build it. Succeeded. First of all, for testing purpose, we'll deploy it within the SharePoint on premises, which is my VMware machine. So I'll just click deploy. That's the beauty of Visual Studio. He will do the deployment for us. Adding solution. And activating features, and deploy succeeded. You can see here deploy succeeded. So I'm going back to my local machine or the SharePoint on premises under that virtual machine, and under my local machine, this is SharePoint 2010. I'm using SharePoint 2010 which is installed under Windows Server 2008 R2. So I have already created a book list within my SharePoint 2010. I'll just add the new item within that. The same item, the 3 mistakes of my life. Nice book. Chetan Bhagat. Okay, this is the data. So let's create a page, and within that page we'll add the web part or the sandbox web part solution, which we just created. Web part pages, create. I'll call it readbook 1, for example. I'll put it under shared documents. This is our page, add web part, and this is the TechGig, the group on which we made just recently. This is the web part, add web part. It is loading. here we are. So as you can see, the code was quite simple and straightforward. We are just fetching or getting the data from the list and showing into our page. So now as everything seems working fine, we'll take the package, the solution as a package. I'm going back to the Visual Studio. I'll right click and then package it. So the package is succeeded. I'll take the package from the bin folder. I'll copy it and put it in my desktop because internet is giving some issue within that VM server. Just I'll paste it on my desktop. Here we are, read book list.wsp. Now this is the Office 365. So I'll do the we don't have Visual Studio directly, to deploy to the Office 365. So the manual step would be we'll go to the one sec. We'll go to this setting of the site setting of the Office 365, and it is being loaded. Is taking, yeah. See, within that web designer gallery, you'll find a solution. This is where we'll upload and manage the solution. For our custom code, we'll upload the solution, and only
Mr. Murtaza, your screen is not getting
WSP
shared.
Sandbox solution are allowed in.
Yeah, I would like to interrupt you. Your screen is not getting shared right now.
Oh, what happened? I mean, like the internet connection is being dropped.
No, we can only see a blue screen.
Now it's fine?
Not yet.
Oops.
All we see is a blue screen.
Now it's fine. Shall I disconnect and then reconnect once more?
I am just making you a presenter
Or
once again. Once again.
now you can see? Now it's fine?
And now we can see the screen.
Okay. Okay, I'll be back to this site setting. We are at the Office 365 now, and within that web designer gallery, we have that solution link where we will be able to upload the custom solution for the Sandbox solution. So I'll just add that read book list.wsp. Okay. It is being uploaded, and we have an option to activate it. By default, it's not yet activated. So now it is activated. You can see the status at the right side, middle one. The solution is activated. Now we'll create a page to add our specific web part. Within that, under theme site, I'll create a add a page. I'll rename it Tagging Demo. demo 1. And add the web part within the gig. Where is I think so the web part has not yet been just I'll go back to the site setting. I'll check if the read book list is being activated. Yeah, it is being activated. So why we are not able to see it within that? I'll add one more page. It's already in use. The tag is not being we should normally see the tag gig category within this category. One sec, I'm just checking. Yeah, it is there. I'll deactivate. One sec. I'm going to the theme site because I should see that category. I'll go to the site setting. Now I'm able to we will upload the once more the read book list into WSB. We'll activate. Here we are activated. Site content, and I'll find my pages. Where is the site pages? Or I'll create a new one. Sorry. and insert. Now we should see it. Here we are, read book, and add the web part. See, the same thing, we are reading straight away in the list, and this is right currently fetching the data from the list within the Office 365. The methodologies would be developed first within the online premises, on premises, and once everything ready, once everything tested, then you can move your code to the Office 365. After this, we'll move to the Sandbox solution within Silverlight. Before leaving this type of solution, I would like to tell you that in case of handling error, the recommended it is recommended that you will write to the when some error will occur, it is recommended to write to the some custom list, because writing log to the file system is prohibited within Sandbox solution. So I'll quickly show you how to write write an error to the custom list. For example, we'll pass an error message within that, and for example, within the catch umbrella, I'll pass the write error, and I'll pass the message, and the error list, I have already created one error list here. There is nothing, just the title is there. So I'll test this within my on-premises only. So let's say I'll rename, while getting the list object of the book list, I'll rename this for ABC. We all knows that there is no book list ABC within the SharePoint 2010 as of now. So let's see what will happen. Deploy, adding solution, and deploy succeeded. I'll go again to the same view all site content, and within my share document I have this read book one which we created, and see currently it is not showing anything because one error have occurred. So we can check it within the error list. So here it is throwing the error that the book list ABC does not exist at site with URL http.virtual. And if you would like, if you want to know what will happen if we'll write to the file system, let's say if suppose assuming that we are not writing such kind of code for error handling, and we write for example directly to the file system. In this case I am writing the error message to the file system. I am creating a file within the C column test.txt and trying to write the error message within that. So I'll redeploy the solution. Succeeded. I'll reload that page, read book, and see. This is a very generic error. That means like unexpected error has occurred. If you would like to debug this and see what will happen, this will throw some exception on which that writing to the file system is prohibited, is not allowed. So on the practical experience is always better. Whenever you want to go for a sandbox solution, I would recommend to write and log your error within a custom list, any list, and pass those error within that specific list. That was a normal kind of sandbox solution, very simple kind of sandbox solution. Now we'll create a sandbox solution with a client object model, which is Silverlight. So I'll open again my Visual Studio, new project once more, and now I'll take for example always book list, and I'll put it under the TechGeek folder. Same thing, deploy sandbox solution and then finish. As we are like aiming for the Silverlight solution, so first of all we'll implement the Silverlight application first. So I've right click, add, and then new project, and then within Silverlight I'll take the Silverlight application. I'll name this book list app, and then OK. I will uncheck this because we are not hosting Silverlight into a new website. We'll host the Silverlight within a SharePoint site. So OK. This is the first view of how you develop Silverlight application. For example, in this scenario, we'll try to add a new item within that list. So let's design it quickly. I'll take one tree label and one text box. Okay, and one button for adding the data. Okay, so I'll rename this accordingly. In content would be title, and then this would be I think so we have sorry, this is the text box, so text box title, and this would be content would be description, and this would be description, text description. The third would be obviously the footer, and this would be txt footer. Okay, we'll just put some alignment to for the look and feel. Now it looks nice. Now the button is there. Okay, the UI part is done. Now we'll have to write some code. First of all, we will add the reference for the Silverlight while getting the data for the Silverlight object model. So these are like located within the 14 Hive template layout and then client bin folder. I'll add these two. These two are necessary: Microsoft.SharePoint.client and .client.silverlight.runtime.dll. I'll add this. Now I'll one sec. This is the code. This code is slightly different of the SharePoint client object SharePoint normal object model, .NET object model, because this code will run into the client side. So the terminology or the wording are little slightly different. So I'll explain this code. We'll first of all we'll get the client context, then the web object, and then the list object. And once we have got all the object, we'll add the item accordingly and update the list. However, in Silverlight, one sec. However, in Silverlight, the call for updating the list would be asynchronous. So as you can see here, client.context.execute asynchronous query. We have to delegate two specific methods. One is whenever the query succeeded, and the other is whenever the queries failed. So let's make it. This is whenever the query succeeded, we'll show a message box that the new item is added, and in case of not, we'll show the error message in case of failure. Here he's trying to find a web.url, so we'll have to create a field and then pass it at the constructor. Let's build it and check whether it is not successful. Yeah, in the application startup, we have to get the URL dynamically of URL of the SharePoint server. So here it would be this kind of stuff. And then pass the URL here. Now build succeeded. Okay, so at the Silverlight, I'll repeat. We have created the UI. We have just added 3 text box and 3 title and 1 button, on which at the code we have, on the button click, we have added the code of inserting data within the list, and we have delegated 2 methods. When it gets succeed, when the item is added successfully, we'll call this method, and when in case of failure, we'll call this one, the query failed. In this, just because here handling the error would be easy, because directly the at the Silverlight the pop-ups are allowed. Okay. Once more, build solution. It is succeeded. So at the Silverlight part, we are done. Now I'll move to the Sandbox visual web part, because we have to integrate this Silverlight application within that Sandbox solution. So once more, I'll add a new web part. So I'll name this web part as a book list WP. Here we are. So for this, I have animate code for before that, I'll put this into the gig category. So now I'm back to my code. Under create child controls, I have a ready-made code helper classes, which will add dynamically the Silverlight application. So at my desktop, I'll add this helper class. This helper class is responsible for the width, the height, and adding dynamically the Silverlight application with every parameters. For example, the minimum runtime version, the auto operate, the init param and all. So it is very simple. You will have just to implement this helper class and put this code. I'm getting the instantiating the object of this helper class, and then I'm passing in the source the URL of because at the just to remind you, at the applications startup, we are getting the URL. So that's why I'm trying to get dynamically the URL of the SharePoint site, and I'll just rename this with our it is booklist.app. Booklist app. Okay. This is at the create child control parts. Now we'll have to inform SharePoint that that was the integration, the thing we have done just now. That was the integration with the web part. Now we have also to inform SharePoint that this module exists. So for that we'll add a module. We'll call that module client bin. Here I have just to pass the name of the book list app. Book list app dot zap. Okay, and finally one more. I'll delete this sample.txt because it's not needed. And finally, at the output, when the deployment will occur, the Visual Studio will push automatically this zap file into the its respective folder. So at the deployment tab, it will check the element file, and it will get the book list app. Here we are. I'll deploy this. Just double check. I'll build once again. Succeeded. Deploy this into my on-premises SharePoint 2010. Deploy started. Adding solution. I can see deploy succeeded. So I'll for this I'll create a new page. One was what's up? Create, add item. I'll add my web part within the tag gig. Here is the booklist.wp. It is asking me for administrator. Here we are. So this is our application. Suppose I'll add a new book about let's say Khana Khazana. Who likes cooking, and the author is Sanjeev Kapoor. New item added. So let's check if the item is added. As you can see, Khana Khazana is there, description is about cooking, and book author is Sanjeev Navani. So the same. Now, as we are confident that it is working at the on-premises, we'll try to deploy this within the Office 365 as we have done for the previous one. I'll go into my bin folder, debug, WSB. I've copied it. I'll go to my desktop. This is the booklist.wsb. Once again, once more, I'll go to the one sec. Internet is a little slow here. It's being loaded. Just bear with me. Yeah, here we are. from my screen, team site. I'm not able to cite the setting. Same process. I'll go to the solution part, and I think so. One sec, I have a similar. Okay, so I'll upload this solution. It was booklist.wsb. Activated. Here we are, and now we'll create a page and add items. Insert web part. Here we are. The Silverlight is being loaded now. 49. Okay. We'll add a new book, Agile Practices pattern, which is a very must-read book, and the author is Robert Martin. New item added. We'll check if the item is, double check. In site content, and this is our book list, and as you can see, Agile Practices pattern and description is must read for object oriented design, and the book author is Robert Martin. So that was the demo of the normal Sandbox solution and Sandbox solution using Silverlight. Now we'll move to Salesforce. We'll quickly go to the slide and we'll go into the demo. What is Salesforce? Salesforce is a customer relationship management software, and it's one of the world's most popular software. Currently, they have 1 lakh plus companies within their platform, and it provides a complete solution for marketing, sales, service partner management, and community management. In short, it can be an entire framework for the management of anything, which stands for anything relationship management. You can implement vendor management, you can implement people management, we can implement material, food, probe, supplier, and this goes on. Within CRM, we can do a lot of stuff. Directly, I'll jump to the we'll have a quick tour of CRM. Currently I'm within my VMware machine. I'm log into the About the code, I will share all the code of my blog. I'll share the blog address and all, so you'll be able to do by your own and try all this stuff. And I'm using all the trial version about Office 365, about Salesforce, so even you can do it at your whenever you have a free time or at your in your premises. So this being loaded. I'm closing the otherwise I'll try from the internet is quite slow here. I'm closing all unnecessary windows. Okay, at the host machine it goes faster. Okay, this is Salesforce, the main UI of Salesforce. We'll have a quick tour and then we'll move to the integration of how to code with Salesforce using SharePoint. So this is the home pages. I'll give you a quick tour of Salesforce. Now currently I've clicked on Chatter. This is kind of internal communicator within the Salesforce and their client and their customers. About campaigns, it's related to the marketing. For example, if you want to do marketing campaigns of products to your customer with some budget cost and about the time. Okay, in Salesforce, lead are considered as a potential customers and opportunity as considered as potential sales. This is a very, we have to be very careful with these two terminologies. Lead means, I would say typical sales process involves first we'll create lead. That means potential customers. Then once the customer is with us, then we'll convert those leads into the opportunities. That means we may have a sales opportunities or we may not have a sales opportunities. And finally, once the opportunity is there, so we'll make a sales. So that's why they have this tab as a lead. So that means like whenever they have a potential customer, they will not create as a customer first. They will create as a lead, and once they are okay, and then they will make them as a customer. And now with account, it is helpful to visualize account as a company, like uh, here we have like many company. SharePoint, Salesforce will create, for example, one new account just for the sake of demo. For example, Microsoft, and we'll put some phone number. Maybe Bill Gates must have a very big number like this, and I think so that's all. The other are not is being loaded. So I'll go back to my list of account or customer. Here is Microsoft. Contacts means customer within CRM terminologies. Opportunities, as I said, these are going towards sales. Forecast is about forecast of sales, and contract, it's self-explanatory. Whenever you want to make a contract between you and your customer. And about cases, when your customer may need help about, it's like kind of for example, this one is like needs help about in some maintenance, and this Lauren needs some help with some design issue. So you can create a new case for each and every customer, and these will be this will be easy for monitoring purposes. Solution in our in the Salesforce terminology is about knowledge base. When, for example, you want to put some helpful knowledge base or technical note about the specific product, so you can put that in the solution tab. And product itself is a product. Whenever you have a new product, you create that. And report and dashboard is about the business intelligence stuff. So for us is we are more interested at the development side. So I'll go at the setup part, and as you can see at the left side, we have an app setup, and we have the develop link. Under develop link, you have Apex classes. Apex classes is the API given by Salesforce for developing, for getting or setting data within Salesforce with third-party tools. Like for us, we'll use ASP.NET and then thereafter SharePoint. So I will create just close this. I will create within Apex classes. I will create one classes. We'll click new. Apex is based on OOPS concept. Object-oriented principle. The people who are comfortable with C# and so this is the API given by the Salesforce, and I've already created this class. So we'll just try to get some account name, based on will get phone number of some account based on the account name. So the syntax would be we'll create a global classes. This global keyword is very important when we create Apex and when we want to integrate this kind of classes with third-party tool. And the syntax is like very simple. We'll get the account object, and then we'll select phone from account where name is equal to the parameter I have passed here, and we'll return that phone number. I'll save this. Also, I've already made another, I've created another class. Let's say I'll be back to the Apex classes. For the sake of the demo, we'll create two classes, different class, new one, and with this one, I'll get the all lead info within the Salesforce lead tab. But now I'll save. Okay. This part was very easy. You just have to log in into the the Salesforce UI. You have to just go to the at the develop link. You go to the Apex classes and you will create your own classes. Now how we'll integrate this? We'll integrate these with some web services. The beauty of the Apex classes is that it will generate automatically a WSDL for us. So I'll just click the WSDL here. And here we are. I'll save this because it will be useful for us for while developing the getting the data from the ASP.NET save as. I'll put in my desktop, get account name. Okay. One sec. The second class was about now we have this one, enterprise WSDL, which is a strongly typed WSDL for customer want to build an integration with their Salesforce. We need this WSDL for login purposes. So show all content. I'll save and save. Okay, we have done. I'll copy these 3 WSDL classes to my virtual machine because Visual Studio is there. I'll put it within the webinar. It is being copied. Okay. The next step now is to reference those WSDL or web service classes within our application. So just I'll start Visual Studio. And now I'll create a new project, but it would be an ASP.NET, normal ASP.NET class. I'll call it Salesforce Demo 1. Okay. I'll put, for example, quick text box. Put two text box. As a one would be, will pass some parameter, and that parameter will give us some result on which we'll pass it into the result. And let's say one button, and little below one grid view. Okay, so that is the UI part. I'll generate the button click class. Now we'll integrate the WSDL within our ASP.NET application, add web reference, and we'll take them from I'll call this web service Salesforce. We will mostly need of this login method because we have to log in, obviously, within the ASP.NET application. This was referenced. Okay, now the second is about the getting the name of the account. I'll call this get account name services. And the third one was related to the Apex classes, was about to get the lead info. Just get the pad. Lead info services. Okay, we are done. Now we'll first of all implement some private fields for being logged in and all. So first of all, I've passed my user ID, which is spsite@hotmail.com, and my password and this token. The token is very important with Salesforce because it's a kind of double security given by the Salesforce. So from where to get this token, I will show you quickly. You have to go at the my personal information within Salesforce development API, and within my personal here you have reset my security token. So currently I have already a token, so I will not reset it, but it is very simple. You just have to log in, go into the personal setup, and then reset my security token. So you will get the security token, and at the button.click I'll implement the code about how to get the data from the Salesforce API. This is a syntax, ready-made syntax given by the Salesforce SDK, and this is the code for the web services. I'm getting the I'm initiating the web services. I've given the name as a get account name, and then passing the session header value and the session IDs. And here is my get account name method, which we implemented in the Apex classes at the Salesforce. I'll show you once more so it will be clear. Get account name, and within that get account name we have this get account name, and we are passing a parameter that we are getting from the text box at the UI stuff, and the result we are just getting the phone, so we are passing the result within the txt result. Now we'll implement the is connected and the get session info method. So this is the method about connection, and this is the getting the session ID. These are like given by the SDK of the Salesforce, how to get the session ID. They have a very good help on that at their developer side. And finally, we have also implemented about the lead one, getting all the info at the lead one. So same thing, I've implemented created an instance of the lead info services and getting an array of lead, and once I get the array of lead, I'm binding them into a data table and showing them. So just two more lines. Grid view dot data source is equal to table and data bind. Okay, so we are ready to go. Okay, this is our UI or simple UI. I'm just giving a, I know there are in the account, I'll double check if we have, for example, we'll take all account. We have just created recently Microsoft as an account name or as a customer, so we'll give Microsoft as a parameter, and let's see how it goes. Here we are. You remember while creating the Microsoft account, we have given this phone number to while creating the account, and here is the second web service that we have created, because while about the lead info. And one more trial. Let's get the phone number of S4, for example. It should return 415. Let's double check if the S4, 4159017,000. So as you can see, it was not that tough. We just I'll recap. Within the Salesforce API, we have created the Apex classes. We have generated the WSDL web services automatically, which was generated by the Salesforce API. and we have mapped those web services within our ASP.NET class application, sorry, and accordingly we were able to show the data. So now this is an ASP.NET application. We'll integrate quickly within SharePoint. It will take not much time. I'll go to the layout folder of my local host, which is a virtual folder within SharePoint. I'll go to it. I'll create a, for example, new folder, tech gig. Okay, I'll copy once more. I'm just putting this within a try catch because in case of error we'll be able to check the error. And in our case I'll write response.write and stack trace, rebuild it. Okay, I succeed. Okay, succeeded. I'll copy the default.aspx files within that tech gig, within that layout folder, and I'll copy the DLL of the Salesforce.demo within that bin folder of the my SharePoint. Now this is my SharePoint. It's being loaded. Is that's slow. And close the tab just to try to clear. I'll reopen once more. Okay, this is the home page of my SharePoint 2010 on premises. I'll try to navigate to the URL tech gig. I have created the tech gig folder. Under that tech gig folder I have that default.aspx. Here we are. it is showing us the UI which we have made for the demo. So same thing, Microsoft. Okay, I was waiting for this error to be happening. See, it is throwing us some systems.security.code access security something error, because all the requests within handled by the SharePoint are like they have their own HTTP handler. So for that we can do one thing. We'll go at the web.config of the SharePoint farm. Explore. We'll open the web.config and we'll try to increase the trust level. By default, it is WSS minimal to full. Let's try once more. I'll try to reload this. Okay, same. We'll try to get the number of Microsoft once more within SharePoint this time. Here we are. So as you can see, I've put the default.aspx file with under the layout folder and the DLL under the bin folder of the SharePoint, and now see we are able to get the data from the Salesforce within SharePoint. So that was the demo about the Salesforce integration with SharePoint. Our last demo would be using the third-party tool. I'm going to the home pages, and there is one company which is called RSS Bus. They provide a web part and some connector for getting connected with SharePoint and Salesforce. Even this demo would be only possible at the online on premises, because off premises the deployment of the DLL to the GAC is not permitted. So both of the demo would be possible at the on premises only. So this is the RSS Bus website. They provide a free SharePoint web part. You'll just have to download and install it. And also they provide a connector which comes under free trial as well. So you have to download and install it, and I've already installed it. So let's say we'll go to my home pages. This is okay. We'll create quickly a new create web part pages. Example RSS Bus integration with Salesforce. Create. We'll add their web part, which is under RSS Bus category, and here it is. Add. This one is very simple and very user friendly. will just this is their web part. So they have given some instruction. We have just to go and edit their web part. We have to implement the data source. Here we'll take the Salesforce provider because we have already installed it. That's why we are able to see it. Access token would be the access token. This access token. So I'll copy and paste it. And my password, which is password, and the user spsite@hotmail.com. We'll test the connection. Test success. Now the next step is to configure the RSS bus web part is trying to fetch the data, all the data from the Salesforce API. So okay, see, here it is. We have like a lot. All table are listed within their web part. So for us, we'll quickly just check the account, get the data from the table account. Okay, here is the column name. So once again we'll get the phone number, for example. Okay, and voila, see, all the data is there. And you can even also choose the template. For example, they have a lot of kind of given templates. So for example, enable data grid. I'll take this one, enable data grid, and the good stuff with RSS is that they within SharePoint we can also do the CRUD operation, which is create, read, update, and delete operation. As you can see, they have given a small 4 button: new, delete, save, and cancel. So you'll be able to do stuff using RSS web part. So that was the integration of Salesforce within SharePoint with RSS bus. We are almost at the end now. The last slide would be of about considering risk while moving to the cloud. So obviously there are a lot of risks to be considered when you move to the cloud. About your data security, if you're a financial company, so I don't think so you'll be your management will share easily the financial data or will host their SQL database or Oracle database to an offsite premises. About the physical security, in case of if suppose assuming if there are some litigation with the hoster sites, so what will happen to your data? About the service level agreement, in case of disaster recovery at after how many hours or how much times your data will be getting back, or your server or your application will be online once more. third-party application, obviously. If you are like using maybe third-party application like Metastorm or this kind of software, and about licensing about their this kind, because normally when you go at the when you implement when you request the service online services, so you may use the software as per the user or based on the online the services provided by the hoster. So third-party application, you have to consider how would be their licensing model in that case. Development consideration, that is very important about the development and testing. First of all, as I shown you, we have to do all development at the on-premises. First of all, do the testing, and then once ready, we'll move our code to the off-premises. And about data migration, for example, previously Office 365 was based at the SharePoint 2010, but now it is based on the SharePoint, the new version of the SharePoint. So if your code is not compatible, you'll have to double check or rebuild once again your DLL, so that would be some more work for you. And thanks to everyone. I think so I'm done. And for any question, or you can shoot your question right now, or in future also you can, like, you have my, I'm giving you my email ID. It is my first name murtaza@live.in, and all the code would be shared at the share one point at .wordpress.com. Moini?
Well, thank you so much for the insightful presentation, Mr. Murtaza. We have a few questions coming from the attendees. Are you able to see those questions?
Okay. One sec. One sec. I'm trying to. Does it mean from Ganesh? One second. From Ganesh Kadam, does it mean Sandbox used for testing purpose? No, I don't think so, Ganesh, because Sandbox have their Microsoft have implemented Sandbox for the isolation purposes and for the security purposes. So once you think to move your custom application or to create your custom application online, you have to use Sandbox solution. There is no alternate method. Will you please provide an example of Sandbox? I have already provided two examples of Sandbox. One was the normal Sandbox, and one was using Silverlight Sandbox solution. This code sample will be available at the soon at the share one point at .wordpress.com. So you can download, you can create your free trial of Office 365 and do your R&D. Is this a free service? Yeah, it gives you a free trial of 30 days, and after 30 days you'll have to buy their services. They have many plans. They have like enterprise plans, education, government plans, and all. So you can check with you can Google about the Office 365 plans. Abhijit Chinde, what are the risks we need to consider in case of development? See, as I have developing Sandbox solution is not easy. It's not like as a there are a lot of limitation. There are a lot of namespace which are not available. So you'll have to do a lot of coding, and you'll have to implement a lot of client side solution while implementing Sandbox solution. Please elaborate more on data migration risk. Elaboration more in data migration risk would be like suppose if you are like using if you were working on SharePoint 2007 or SharePoint 2010, and now you want to migrate those custom application within Office 365, and as you have seen, like Office 365 is based on the new version of SharePoint, so you may have to do lot of testing, lot of regression testing of your custom application, and lot of that would be, I would say, re-engineering development, because the as you might be aware, like in SharePoint 2007 it was already DLL were located at the 12 hive, and now with 2010 it would be it is in the 14 hive, and with the 13 version it is a new location. So all this stuff you'll have to take in consideration, and about security purposes as well. I think so. That's all, Moini. Ganesh has a new question. In Salesforce we do have customization and Apex Dev. So what is different between? Okay, customization is like kind of user interface where non-technical people will work. For example, they will create some leads, they will create some opportunities, they will create some sales, they will create a solution which would be a knowledge base. These options will be used by the non-technical people, and the Apex development is about the developer. So you must have a knowledge about how to develop and how to code using OPS concept within the Apex API. So then only you will be able to code within the Apex API. How to configure ISR server in server 2003? I think so. Mr. Khar has a question like how to configure ISR server. ISR server is a security server. Is a kind of firewall between like your internal connection and the production server within your company or your organization. That is a very big topic, and you can mail to me. I'll share some documents about how to configure ISR server, because I think so we are going. This is a out of scope question. So next question. We do have more questions, Moini? But can we build an application on customization? Ganesh Kadam has one more question. He's asking if we can build on Salesforce an application on. Yes, I mean, like if you want to integrate your custom application within Salesforce, they have that kind of possibilities as well. They have given how to do that. But if you are like a SharePoint developer, and if you want to integrate this get and set this Salesforce data within your SharePoint organization or SharePoint farm, so you can go as per I've shown you. You can like create your own classes within Apex API, and then generate the WSDL, and use this WSDL as an ASP.NET application, or maybe in some like a third-party application. So you'll be able to get and set this kind of data with for Salesforce. Or in case if you don't want to use .NET technologies, within the Salesforce API itself, they have given like some process and also or some methodologies how to build custom application within Salesforce itself.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Fazil Hussain. Those were the only questions we had for the day. Thank you so much for conducting this webinar. Thanks. It was a great session.
Yeah, thanks, Moini. See you soon.
I would also like to thank all our participants for the support in making this webinar a success. The recording of the session would be available on techgeek.com by tomorrow. Thank you all. Have a great evening.